Trump breaking news. Even Trump supporters don't see Haley's nomination as inevitable. Some are wondering what Nikki Haley plans to do next when she continues to lose in the GOP primary race against Trump, the former president. Because the primary shouldn't be a coronation, Haley has vowed to remain in the race until Super Tuesday, when voting will take place in over a dozen more states. Her continued campaign into March, however, has drawn criticism from Trump and his supporters. An alliance of Trump's has quashed any speculation that Haley is plotting to unseat the former president in the event of a conviction in one of his criminal cases or his withdrawal from the campaign. It seems like she's aware that her time in politics is coming to an end, and this is just her way of trying to get anti-Trump donors to support her as she leaves, remarked a Republican insider who strongly supported Trump. As evidence that at least some members of the party are looking for a Trump alternative, Haley has amassed millions of cash and thousands of votes since the January Iowa caucuses. Despite her best efforts, the former UN ambassador has been unable to identify a single state on the GOP primary schedule where she could defeat Trump as a third-party candidate with the organization No Labels. On Fox News last month, someone asked Haley if she sees herself as a kind of insurance policy for the outcome of Trump's legal battles. If Republicans feel that Donald Trump isn't going to be able to win and that we need to do something to fix the country, I hope they'll consider me as an alternative. Haley advised the network, "Look, let's get somebody who can win." That's what she has always tried to convey. In addition to the one in New York City, the ex-president is also on trial in Georgia, Washington, D.C., and Florida for other criminal charges. Later this month, the trial in New York City will commence about an alleged hush money plot. In the Florida trial involving Trump's handling and reluctance to turn over sensitive materials, Special Counsel Jack Smith has suggested a start date of July 8. This would place the trial right before the Republican National Convention. With Super Tuesday quickly approaching, it is quite improbable that Haley will be able to become the nominee in any way other than by earning the required delegates, but Trump supporters and Republican officials have cast doubt on this possibility. There is a high expectation that Trump will gain the 1,215 delegates necessary to earn the GOP candidacy by March 19. If he does, he will then become the presumptive nominee. By that point, not even a criminal conviction could set those delegates free. The Republican convention in July would be the only place for a candidate switch. Republican leaders, meanwhile, have cast doubt on Haley's chances of prevailing in a convention floor struggle. A top Republican strategist predicted that most delegates will remain Trump loyalists, according to a former RNC official. The past president is not likely to support Haley at the convention, regardless of whether they dropped out due to health concerns, a conviction, or any other reason. None of those Trump delegates will support Haley. The individual he chooses to be his running mate has the best chance of becoming the nominee, according to a former Trump administration official. They also mentioned that it would be an intriguing test for the party. According to Republican strategist Brady Smith, the Haley campaign is considering waiting for Trump to drop out of the race, but this isn't feasible considering the growing animosity between the two candidates. The main conflict between Trump and Haley has persisted, with each side delivering more venomous assaults against the other. In a Truth Social post last month, Trump referred to her as brain-dead and brought up the fact that her husband is serving abroad, which is why he isn't campaigning with her. Haley, on the other hand, has opposed Trump's remarks on NATO and questioned his mental fitness for office. "I don't think everyone would go and align themselves with Nikki if the Democrats' lawfare succeeds and he fails to make that run and you're at convention. This is the individual who has been further polarizing us in our opposition to Trump," they say, according to Smith. GOP strategist Jonathan Felts compared Haley's campaign to the one that then-Sen John McCain, Republican Arizona, ran in 2008, saying that this is not where the GOP is right now regardless of whether Trump drops out of the race. Even though Haley would have the most votes and delegates after Trump, he is quite sure that the nomination would not automatically fall to her in the event that Trump's nomination were to be revoked due to a conviction in one of his cases or any other reason. According to Felts, it is not a good tactic for any contender to try to emulate the Republican primary's Dean Phillips. Felts was alluding to the Democratic congressman from Minnesota who was challenging Biden in the primary using a long shot. He praised Haley's fantastic campaign and said she had surprised everyone, including Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who was considered Trump's primary opponent when the race began. His main point was that she would be doing herself and the party no favors by staying in longer. Haley had been seriously considering a career in politics. She would have left long ago, according to her statements. "I'm not doing this for myself," she declared. While Felts acknowledged that her campaign might still play a role in the 2024 Republican primary, she warned that if it devolves into an airing of grievances, it could obstruct her future plans. "She seems to be on the brink, in my opinion. On Wednesday morning, it will be fascinating to observe her handling of things," he remarked.